way into the final, and he gets a guy with a lot of experience and a tough guy by the name of Rommel Rene. He's going to represent Florida, and Roberon-El representing Washington, D.C. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. But Roberon-El started boxing at a later age, like so many guys in this tournament. He does have a decided height advantage on Rene, so Rene's going to have to try to work inside if he possibly can. The experience factor is all Rene, however. And so here is the path into the final, and Rene had a tough fight with Lawrence, and Roberon-El, as we said, kind of surprised people, I think it's fair to say, as he wins his way, and he almost had his man out, incidentally. He wins his way into the final. We'll tell you a little bit more about him as we move along. Here is the referee in this fight, Rick Erickson, who comes out of Colorado, New Mexico, that franchise. And with that, we're going to go to Jim Brinson for the introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is in the 178-pound weight division. Fighting out of the red corner, representing the Florida franchise, Rommel Rene. And fighting out of the blue corner, representing the Washington, D.C. franchise, Dalemanik Roberon-El.
This should be a very entertaining fight. And again, this is one of those styles make fights things, and we'll see how this all works out. Dalemanik Roberon-El wants to keep it on the outside. He's a straight puncher. He's got some pop.
His lack of experience sometimes shows in the way he delivers punches and the way he does things. He just isn't polished yet, but he does have power. And you know, the interesting thing is he beat Brandon Gonzalez here, who beat Rommel Rene in the U.S. Championships this past year.
He only had 15 fights coming in to last night's action, so a guy that does not have experience, but he impressed a lot of people last night. Rommel Rene, I beg your pardon, built much more compactly, strong.
And he has a wealth of national and international experience, does Rene. So there's a big contrast in that regard, as you pointed out. He kind of wanted to face Gonzalez, did Rene, to try and avenge that loss, but Roberon-El upset that idea.
Roberon-El went to Montgomery College, really didn't start boxing until after that.
You know, when Isaiah McFadden, who fought him last night, when he pressured Roberon-El, he got some things done, especially later in the fight. So we have to look at the stamina of Roberon-El as well as this fight wears on, although certainly it's not being fought at the torrid pace.
No, it's not. And Roberon-El able to fight the way he wants. It was interesting. We talked to him about what his style is. He said, I fight.
He doesn't. I don't think he's intellectualized it to the point where he knows exactly what's happening.
Not a bad round for Roberon-El. Rommel Rene, on the other hand, said he said, I can box. He said, I can punch.
Onto the body.
Go with the left-hander. He said last night in his fight, he just kind of out-muscled him. He said tonight he felt he had a box move.
Okay, there was some punches you threw in the air that were too far away. You need to come in a little closer. Okay, you need to come in a little closer and start getting closer to home. Okay, let's start finding some shots to the body. Okay.
All right, get a little closer. Right hand, then your left hook. Let it go.
Where's my piece at, man? Get a little closer, man. All right? Get a little busy, get a little closer. All right? Yeah.
All right, let him worry about you. Don't worry about him. Let him worry about you.
Right hand, left hook. Right hand, left hook. All right?
So we prepare to start the second round. It's interesting, we talked about the fact that Dalemanik Roberon-El didn't start boxing until he was 23. Rommel Rene, on the other hand, started boxing when he was 3.
Yeah, his dad kind of started him, you know, punching around a little bit and to see how he do. And I guess, can you tell when someone's 3 if they have ability?
They're a small target.
Yeah, I guess. My son's 5.5 and he's in gymnastics. Is he the next Bart Connor? I don't know that yet.
Perhaps.
I don't know.
Get back.
Now, Rene really needs to get on the inside, obviously, and that's an obvious statement, but he's going to hit with some pretty good left hooks by Roberon-El as he tries to get in there. Rene told us he likes when he looks at Tyson's style of being very aggressive. He likes that where you take a fighter's jab away. That's what he's going to need here tonight, but so far he hasn't really been effective with that.
Roberon-El, or rather Rene trying to get inside.
And when he's there, it's really incumbent upon him to make something good happen. He can't just be content to be tied up and then have the action end. And he did a lot of good body work against Alan Lawrence. So see, this is what Rene wants. He wants this is the distance he wants against Roberon-El. He did good body work against Alan Lawrence in the semifinals to get here, but he hasn't been close enough to work the body of Roberon-El.
Step back.
Caution to both men for hitting on the break. Nice combination from Rene.
Now he's cut the distance, and there's no movement from Roberon-El, and so Rene is able to get some pretty good shots in and has turned things around a little bit here toward the end of the round.
Dalemanik Roberon-El told us that he feels he's already had a victory just in the fact that he's here. It was in January of last year that he was in a club with some friends, and some guys jumped some of his friends, and he went to help out. He said there was this guy who was pounding on my back, pounding on my back, pounding on my back. Turned out the guy was stabbing him in the back. He got stabbed 17 times.
Wow.
And so he says, you know, I'm lucky to be around, and hey, guess what? I don't go to clubs anymore.
Don't blame him. That was only a little over a year ago.
Now, we're going to step it up a little bit more this time.
That Vaseline?
Okay.
Got a little cut on it.
Yeah, that's from that little headbutt. I have to get that. It's in the other jacket pocket.
All right.
Okay, listen, we got to work a little bit more. Okay, we got to work a little bit more.
All right.
Okay, we got to start going downstairs. When you see them shots, you got to let the hands go.
All right.
Okay.
You know you got Shorty Beast looking at you, man.
Come on, throw them punches
You know what I'm
at him,
saying?
man. All right, the whole.
You got Umar Boxing looking at you.
Come on.
You know what I'm
Come on,
saying?
go in there and fight, man. Simple as that. Ain't no whole lot to it.
What you tell Shorty?
Here's where Rene landed a shot that looked like it stunned Roberon-El. Short left hand. You could barely see it, but it did land. And, well, I don't know. That was a body shot. There's another left hand. Maybe he was just off balance. But Rene had a good round in there in that last round.
Well, Roberon-El left himself wide open, and Rene took advantage of it. I told Roberon-El, and I'm sure you heard it, just go ahead and fight this guy. Can't get careless, though.
Now, if he's gonna, he needs to stay on the outside still. There's no question. See, when he comes in wild like that, and I'm surprised Rene didn't make him pay for it.
A little scrape along the nose of Rommel Rene.
Yeah, they said in the corner they thought it came from a clash of heads. Roberon-El's tying Rene up on the inside, and that's probably a good idea for him. Doesn't really want Rene to be able to work on the inside. Very uneven performance so far for Rene. He wanted, you know, he's the fighter with the much more experience, higher rank. This is the kind of fight where I think he would have thought he would walk in there and show his superiority in a more decisive way. And I'm sure Brandon Gonzalez thought so too, who had won the U.S. championship and then lost to Roberon-El.
That's exactly right. Roberon-El has had a very nice tournament here. As you said, he decisioned Brandon Gonzalez, who was #2 in the country, and had defeated Rene. And he beat Isaiah McFadden last night.
And he's definitely in the hunt tonight. Very close fight.
Now, all of that said, Rommel Rene decisioned Will Rosinski, who was #1 in the country. So these two guys have beat the numbers 1 and 2. That's a slip.
Ooh, well, he was hit with something, but I don't know about that as a knockdown.
Yeah, well, that's what it's going to be. It doesn't really matter, as we said. Just counts as one punch. I think that was as much slip as it was knockdown. Went down in a very awkward position, too.
Could have easily been injured at that point.
You know that was a slip. So what's going to happen now, son, you're going to have to step this thing up because you know that was a slip, okay?
Put your legs
But you got to let the hands go Okay. Now this round.
There was something thrown, and there might have been a punch landed. So we'll see as we.
All right.
In a moment or two, we're going to be able to take a look at
Put
it.
some combinations together, all right? When you come back to this corner, I want you to be a dead man.
He gonna try to jump on you, man. All right.
Well, here's the. Well, you know what? There was a punch landed, but the shoulder is what really knocked him down. So I think, yeah. Oh, there's a definite shoulder there. And the referee was in a perfect position to see it. So based upon the corner work, I guess they really want Roberon-El to pick it up, huh?
Yeah, I would say so.
Hey, they want him to
back
leave
here a dead man.
Yeah, leave it all on the mat, as they say.
But we're alive.
Yes, that's right. So it's not possible. There are probably some people, you know, shaking their head because normally there aren't live boxing events on this, and you and I haven't been live on ESPN for about, what, 10 or 12 years. That's right. So it's not, don't worry, you haven't been drinking. This is real.
Now, it is the first live broadcast of boxing here on ESPN Classic, and we hope there'll be many more. And it's nice to tee it up again for the old home team, isn't it?
Yes, sirree. It's been fun. It's been a really delightful weekend at this tournament, and we've seen a lot of good boxing. Enjoyed these telecasts immensely. Now, there's some good shots by Roberon-El on the inside. You know, he's awkward. He doesn't deliver every punch perfectly, but they're landing.
No, that's right. That was the same thing last night. He's starting to get himself right back into this fray here. And good right hand.
He's got an uppercut, you know, and he knows how to use it. It's a 25-year-old former football player in college who has not had much boxing experience, but you can tell he has the raw athleticism to get this done if he can just work on his technique.
No, that's right. I mean, I don't think you can teach power, but you can teach technique.
Yeah. And, you know, I don't know. He's in his mid-20s, but there's time for him to become a terrific amateur. There really is.
Be interesting to see his progress and to watch him in the amateurs. Win or lose tonight. 3 years away from the Olympics.
You never know. This is going to be a very close decision.
I think so, too.
And I think the last round's been a very good one for Roberon-El. And he's had, I think, more stamina than Rene has.
Well, this is going to, you said it, this is going to be interesting, I think. Very good effort. When we come back, we'll find out who wins it at 178. Dalemanik Roberon-El or Rommel Rene.
In the 178-pound classification, the winner out of the red corner, representing the Florida franchise, Rommel Rene.
Well, not a real popular decision, but you can certainly make a case for Rommel Rene. He is the winner here over very game Dalemanik Roberon-El. So Rommel Rene will win the title here. He beat number 1 to get here, remember, even though Roberon-El had beaten number 2. Good win for him. I think a very close fight. And Rommel Rene will get the obligatory thanks and then make his way over to Al Bernstein. Right now, Rommel is with Al Bernstein.
Thank you, Barry. Rommel, a very difficult fight with Dalemanik Roberon-El. He's a powerful young guy in there.
Yeah, he's kind of strong, but one of his advantages, he was real awkward. He was a real awkward fighter. I do better with better boxers. He was very sloppy. Almost tried to throw me out of my game plan, but I still pulled it off. And the ref, we kicked feet. Southpaw Orthodox always trip up legs. I wasn't a knockdown.
Yeah, we saw he actually pushed you with the shoulder, and that was a big part of it. What can you take? First of all, you win a National Golden Gloves championship. How does this propel you now this year?
Makes me feel good. It propels me now. I'm going to work even harder so I can get ready for international